Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Monday, July 1st, 2024. I am Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the executive minister. Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ+ community. Surveys show that religious faith and church are the main cause of trauma in the LGBTQ+ community.
I'm Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education. The Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community. Let's explore the big news of the day and what it means to you. This is live, and then we are available on demand. We are available on all smart televisions and your favorite social media.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we're here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. MCC Elders urge African faith leaders to oppose anti-LGBTIQ+ laws on Africa Day. The Council of Elders of the Metropolitan Community Church, MCC, marked Africa Day with a call to faith leaders across the continent to denounce anti-LGBTIQ+ laws and hate speech. Founded in Los Angeles in 1968, the MCC is an international LGBTQ+ affirming Protestant Christian denomination with congregations in 37 countries. In a powerful statement, the elders highlighted the rise of hate speech against transgender individuals, those in same-sex relationships, and the broader LGBTQ+ community. They asserted, and I'm quoting, "Words can hurt and harm," unquote, adding that such rhetoric can incite violence and discriminatory laws. The statement coincided with a significant event in Soweto last month, where Reverend Nokuthula Dhladhla was elevated to the Metropolitan Community Church's Council of Elders. MCC elders are spiritual leaders that are often equated with bishops. Reverend Elder Dhladhla, right? Dhladhla, is the first Black and openly queer individual from Africa to hold this position, a landmark amid rising anti-LGBTQ+ sentiment and repressive laws in several African countries. Recent campaigns led by Christian and Islamic faith leaders in Botswana, Ghana, Malawi, Namibia, and Uganda have pushed for new oppressive laws against LGBTQ+ individuals. The elders, however, emphasized that embracing one's gender identity and sexual orientation are expressions of self-love as commanded by Jesus, and that same-sex love is a divine gift. They said everyone, and I'm quoting, "Everyone has the right to be seen, to be held, and to have a safe place to call home," unquote. Amen to that. One of Sunshine Cathedral's affiliations is with the Metropolitan Community Churches, and we are grateful that their retired founder is quite often with us on Sunday mornings via our telecast. So we are comfortable in embracing what MCC elders are doing in Africa and urge other organizations to take that step, because Africa in too many places has been colonized by the Christian right, and they are just destroying our brothers and sisters who come out queer. In some countries, I believe Uganda is one of them, where being queer is enough to have you murdered. Mm-hmm. I say murdered because that's what the government is doing. They're going back to the Roman days when if you spoke out against the government, they assassinate you, as they did with Jesus. So it's not something new that people who speak against power are assassinated, but it's terrible that people who speak about how they love and who they love are killed simply because of that. So kudos to the MCC elders, and I hope that other organizations pick up on what they're doing, especially in places like Africa.
Yeah, there are Metropolitan Community Churches in Africa. I don't know how many, and I don't know how easy it would be to find them, because for safety,
yeah,
I don't know that there's it's probably a lot of word of mouth. It's because you can't just put out things. But I hope this is a word of encouragement to people in the Caribbean, people in Eastern Europe, people in Africa, people in places where where it is honestly life-threatening to be known or even suspected of being in any way queer. MCC started, the Metropolitan Community Church has started with one service, October the 6th, 1968, in somebody's living room in Huntington Park, California. And the offering was like less than $3. It was, there were 12 people, but those 12 people represented gay and straight. I think there were 11 gay, 1 straight. Male and female, I think there were 11 men and 1 woman. Christian and Jew, I think there were 11 Christian and 1 Jew. It was as small a group as it is, it was mixed and for everyone. And then they played the Mormon Tabernacle Choir for their music. They had an old Seventh-day Adventist person lead the music. They had, in the church that developed from that, the person preaching and starting it all was a deep frog Pentecostal minister. It was just some of everything. And this happened 9 months before Stonewall. This happened, let's see, it was 9 months before Stonewall and 5 years before the American Psychiatric Association said that same-gender love and attraction is not disordered, is not diseased, and it was decades before the sodomy laws were reversed in this country. And then it wasn't until 2015 that marriage equality was nationwide. So when this happened on October the 6th, 1968, these people were considered mentally ill and criminal.
Yeah.
They were criminal, they were mentally ill. I mean, they were completely marginalized, completely disenfranchised. And they got 12 people together to have a worship service and take up an offering, and they grew. And now it is all over the place. Small churches and ministries all over the world. So we are historically affiliated with MCC. We have our MCC credentials. We are affiliated with the Global Justice Institute, which is housed at MCC New York. And the Global Justice Institute does work in Africa, in Asia, in Eastern Europe, in Appalachia, in places in the Caribbean, in places where LGBTQ people are at risk and don't have safe spaces, don't have places they can go. And so we're friends with the public theologian Val Kalinde, who is a Ugandan, part of the queer diaspora from Africa. She's safe here in the U.S. and sharing her powerful witness. And so we're very concerned about the people of Africa and all of these places. We're concerned for the people in the U.S. having their rights trying to be chipped away and rolled back.
Hello.
But at least we feel reasonably confident that we can fight back and we'll be okay.
Yes.
There are people though that the police state is against them, the military is against them, the churches are against them, the neighbors will turn them in. I mean, it's really, sometimes for refuge, they will go from a severely homophobic country to a slightly less homophobic country, because that's where they can get to, and they feel a little bit safer. And so, and this is the result, Reverend Kevin talks about this in sermons, he's talked about it here at this table. This is so much the result of homophobic preaching. Homophobic politics for sure, but a lot of that is fed by this idea that God doesn't like us. That which is why we always say you're God's miracle, not God's mistake. That God doesn't like us. We are dehumanized, we are demonized, we're demoralized, and that makes it easy for people not only to do mean things to us, but to feel righteous in doing it. That we are somehow a scourge, and they are doing a good thing by locking up the queers or killing the queers or getting the queers out of there. And this is, of course, abominable. This is abusive. This is terror, and it is fueled by the misuse of religion,
yes,
by the malpractice of religion. And so those of us who are in religion, it is our duty to stand up and speak out. So the MCC elders are speaking out. We need to do this more. Bishops, presbyters, pastors, missionaries. We need to, every chance we get, speak up for our friends in these places where their lives are at risk, just being who they are. And remember, MCC started under similar circumstances and is now around to speak to this and to encourage people who are at risk. And so thank you, elders. Thank you, all activists in Africa and activists who are their allies throughout the world. We are all united. We are all one family. And some of our family is unfairly targeted right now. And because of things that our colleagues have said. And so we need to stand up to those colleagues, and we need to stand up for the people who are being marginalized and abused.
Part of what we do also is, connect with global justice. And actually, just last week that Elder Nokuthula and I was talking about some projects in Africa, and actually specifically about a project that supports another organization and another part of Africa that is underground that we're working with the LGBT community. So, we're kind of hands in hands with our Global Justice Institute and working to help get this up and going. And so this is just not stuff that's out there. This is stuff that we are involved in and we're close to. And so kudos to Elder Nokuthula and her assistant, Reverend Dhladhla, and some other folks who are there, but especially those who have been on the front line, remain on the front line, such as those two individuals, but also for this other organization that's working to make lives a little bit easier, a little bit better in other parts of Africa. And so, again, this is not just one of those stories. This is real to us because it brings home, because these are people that we know and we've known for a very long time, and we continue to work with, and especially with Sunshine Cathedral and the Global Justice Institute, working hand in hand to make some of these things real for people who are in a very different situation than we are.
If you know of something that's happening that needs some attention, that needs some advocacy, that needs some brainstorming, the Global Justice Institute might be who you need to contact. And so if you will email Robert at sunshinecathedral.org, he can get that to where it needs to be. That's Robert at sunshinecathedral.org. And if you, wherever you are, if you're looking for a safe place to worship, look for Metropolitan Community Churches. Look for TFAM, the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries. Look for Unitarian Universalist spaces. Look for New Thought churches. Look for the United Church of Christ here in the U.S. or United Church of Canada in Canada. Look for the Episcopal Church in the U.S. or the Anglican Church of Canada or the Anglican Church of New Zealand. Not all Anglican churches are safe, though. That's why I'm naming specific provinces, because the Anglican Church of some would not be as safe or as welcoming. But these places exist. Look for them. And I'm going to let Reverend Kevin tell you about, if there's no such place, how you can still have something.
SunshineCathedral.org. You can come to Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. There are so many ways that you can connect with this global fellowship where we always speak the same language, and that is you are God's miracle and not God's mistake. So please, SunshineCathedral.org is a good place to start, and Facebook is always a good place to go to find us, because we are out there for you all of the time.
Yeah, we're on Instagram, we have a YouTube channel, we're on Facebook, you can get on our email mailing list. We've got our website, and then on these various venues, you can worship with us on Sunday mornings. We do midday prayer 6 days a week, and we do the Queer God Squad 5 days a week. So, and prayer at sunshinecathedral.org is a way that you can get on our prayer list and have us be holding you in the light of prayer that way. So you always have Sunshine Cathedral and lots of ways to connect with us.
Amen.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. And we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until the next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.